Hello, vinyl community. This is Bill here again. Hope you're keeping well. And today I'm going to do a response video. I'm maybe 2 weeks behind time, but I want to do a response to James Griffiths' fantastic video. I'll put a link below to the original video from James, and it's Turn It Up. Songs that demand to be played loud. I've heard people saying about cranking up to 11. Maybe we'll crank up to 15 or maybe 20. Let's see. But we're allowed 10 songs. I've maybe got one exception to that. But let's see. I'm going to start with 2 CDs and then the rest are on vinyl. And I must admit, when I heard this, I thought the initial track, rather than song I thought of, was from no other than Johann Sebastian Bach. And it's Toccata and Fugue. And that heavy church organ music, it's a heavy metal of classical music. Some say that it's maybe disputed whether Bach actually wrote this, because it's maybe quite different to lots of his other wonderful classical pieces, such as St. Matthew's Passion and Brandenburg concertos, etc. But for turning up the volume, and I think in classical terms, for the organ, you would pull all the stops out on this. It was used as the opening to the original film Rollerball, James Caan, and motorbikes and banked surfaces and roller skates and a metal ball that was the weight of probably 3 bags of sugar, something like that. A really good sci-fi movie. I'd recommend that. The other one from the classical genre is Night on a Bare Mountain by Mussorgsky. And of course, Walt Disney did a great version in Fantasia. But I think Toccata and Fugue edges it. So that's my opener. And then I think I've said this before, anytime my wife and I are on a trip down to Glasgow or Edinburgh, anything over an hour and a half or so, on the way back, we often play Green Day and their American Idiot album. We'll play the whole thing at full volume in the car. But the opening track, one of 10 songs you should play at maximum volume. And then I guess the genre that must be played loud is really heavy metal, hard rock, and I would go for Def Leppard and Armageddon It from this wonderful album Hysteria. So yeah, some really great tracks on this, but I'm going for the one that you must play at maximum volume is Armageddon It. Next up, David Bowie, and I'd go for Suffragette City from the fantastic, wonderful album Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. Home turf, Scotland and Fife, and I'm going for Nazareth. And the opener in this greatest hits one is Razamanaz. And yeah, it's fun. A lot of Nazareth songs should be played at the highest volume you can stand without your ears bursting. But Razamanaz is my pick from there. And then also kind of Scotland, there's a place down the coast from Aberdeen called Montrose. This band are not from Montrose, but I think the lead singer or the band founder is Ronnie Montrose, and he's the guitarist, and I think it's Sam Hager that does the vocals, but Ronnie Montrose is a great hard rock guitarist. The one that I'm selecting off this great hard rock album is Good Rockin' Tonight. So it's a hard rock standard, Good Rockin' Tonight, but this one should really be played loud. And then this is one that I've often played loud, and really you don't think of 10cc as the rockers, but if we look at the original soundtrack, I would say the second sitting for The Last Supper should be played at maximum volume. It's got a really good driving beat, very interesting lyrics. And then I'm going to go back in time, and I'm going for Jerry Lee Lewis and Goodness Gracious, Great Balls of Fire. I think the way Jerry Lee plays piano with both his hands and his feet and jumps about, etc. He's just the ultimate hard rocker from the rock and roll era from the late 50s. And yeah, Great Balls of Fire is just a wonderful, wonderful song that you should listen to very loud. I said to James in a comment to his original video that I once went to a Who concert in the mid-70s, and the volume was so loud on the speakers, and I think that was a Saturday night or Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, that the following lunchtime, my ears were still ringing. So having mentioned The Who, I'm going to go with the title track from this album, which is Who Are You? And then I was going to give an honorable mention to the Stones, because I think in the liner notes for Sticky Fingers, Jimmy Miller says this album must be played very loud. And I think that's the same on the liner notes for It's Only Rock and Roll. So yeah, the Stones, their hard rock stuff, play at maximum volume, but I'm not going to pick out any specific song, and instead I'm going to go with a new album from Jack White. I'm going to say the track, The White Raven, should be played at maximum volume, but yeah, morning, noon and night, maybe the whole album, should be played with the dial on the volume control turned up to max. So thank you, James, for initiating this thread, and that's my response. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you disagree with any of my selections, put a comment below, and I'd like to hear from you. And I'll be back before too long with another video on my random records and music ephemera. But for now, it's a bye from me. Take care. See you next time.